Michigan's most important assets is their natural resources and their crop production, livestock production. Michigan has a very diverse agriculture production. I think we're only second to California. And I think as long as we continue using sustainable agriculture, where we have profitable farming, while leaving the environment at least as good as we found it before we started, we'll continue to have productive agriculture in Michigan. And I think that's very important. I also like the fact that we still have many small family farms, because I hate the thought of all of our farms becoming corporate farms, because then the corporations can be bought by anyone and we lose our guaranteed food supply.
Jim?
I have a question real quick. Dick, you said question 14. Are you referring to the survey?
No, this is just questions that our group put together.
Okay.
And in case we don't have time to get them all, we went through and saw which ones people thought were the most important one. We've got 18 questions. Hopefully we can get to them, but if some of you people talk and talk, then we'll get to them.
All right. The reason I asked that is, and I'm going to put that out there, you have another question for me, or might I answer the same
No,
one?
you're going to ask the same one.
Okay. And I'll have to repeat it, but just so you know, I never received a survey. And so you don't have that from me. I am very interested in doing so and would like to talk to whomever I need to talk to about that to make sure we get that straight before I leave tonight.
I don't believe anybody received these questions.
No, I meant, because I didn't know, I saw Jason earlier and he said that he had a survey and I didn't know if there was one. I talked to someone else that said it was already due, so.
The one from
Yeah, I never got it.
From Michigan Farm Bureau.
Yeah,
And Jason Jacko, he went ahead and did things that, we didn't know nothing about. And then he kind of screwed everything up. This was our baby, and he kind of stepped in, and he's planning a big wedding, so you have to excuse him.
I don't have a problem with that. I just want you to know that it's
Yeah.
not a lack of concern or interest for me. I just simply didn't receive it, and I wanted to get that out there before we continue. Anyway,
Did anybody else get these surveys?
I got
yeah,
Okay,
that's
then we will
what
make
you
sure
said.
you get one, Jim. I haven't received it.
That's all
You
right.
got it, Dick? Yeah, see, so you're not the only one, but we'll get you one. And if anybody else hasn't got it, Dick here in the green shirt, he will be your contact guy, and he'll get one mailed to you.
Okay. I'm sorry, continue.
Okay, now the next question would be for you.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna answer the same one.
That's why.
Oh, she's answering
All gonna answer the same question.
Okay.
Biggest resource.
We go around.
Everybody will be.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 14.
Okay, I'll repeat, in your opinion, what is Michigan's most important assets and why?
Most important assets. Most important assets would be our natural resources and our people. Natural resources because we live in a state that is a four-season state. We have beautiful country to horseback ride on. We have beautiful country to farm. We have, tourism is huge here. Agriculture is huge here. We have so much to draw from. We have our lakes. We have the boating industry, things like that. Golf has a huge impact here in the state. I don't know, at least a couple years ago anyway, I know that Michigan had more golf courses than any other state in the lower 48, which I thought was pretty interesting. So that's one. And it's people, for obvious reasons. We have a tremendous workforce. Our people here have, especially in Mid-Michigan, have great qualities and great values, and that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to going to Lansing and protecting and preserving are those those values, those core beliefs, and our way of life. So those I think are the top two assets for our state.
All right, I'm going to agree with the two fine people who went before me. And I also believe our natural resources are our biggest asset, both economically and really for public health when you think of environment. Whether we're talking the Rifle River, Saginaw Bay, Aranet County, or we're talking, Snow State Ski Resort up here, the huge state forest in Gladwin County, that to me is where we need to really start focusing. And that is one of the allures to me of the agriculture industry. I may not have said this when I introduced myself, but I'm currently a sports editor at 3 different newspapers, but prior to that I was the news editor at the Aranet County Independent. We had a monthly farm page, which is how I know Dana and both Dan and Hubert Fisk. And I was always so impressed by how agriculture kind of led the way in making sure the Saginaw Bay stayed clean and fighting erosion. And I remember Dana told me one time that farmers can't make any money on the soils in the Saginaw Bay. And being a guy who's kind of environmental, I don't consider myself over the top, but that really does draw me to agriculture even more, knowing that they're not going to sit here and complain about something about the environment, but they're going to put their hat in the ring and say, here's what we can do, here's what we think about this, and they really engage themselves in the process instead of sitting back and whining about it like so many other industries do.
I think the first asset is our children and grandchildren. Michigan is fastly becoming, it's second to Florida as far as the aging of our state. Our young people are leaving the state faster than we can produce them. I mean, Florida is the fastest aging state in the nation, and Michigan is becoming the second fastest very, very quickly. We need to provide the job. We need to keep them here. We need to do things that are going to keep our children here. As Kim had mentioned, she has a child that's in Grand Rapids, and primarily because there's not work for her or for him in this area here. Secondly, along the lines of the natural resources, I think it's water. You know, the city of St. Louis has already put a ban on any new businesses coming into their area because they cannot provide the fresh water to any new business that is in that area. My belief is our water stays here. You want our water, you come here. You bring your business here, we'll give you all the water you want. So water has got to be, without water we're not going to have farming, without water we're not going to have the wildlife industry that we have in this area. So number one, our children and grandchildren. Number two, our water.
I agree with everybody. Mark makes an excellent point. We are we are going to be the new Florida real quick. So our people and our youth is crucial, and we have to do something to keep them. And the only way to do that is through jobs, obviously. Like I said, over 50% of them are leaving upon graduation, so we're spending our tax money to educate them, and then they leave to go somewhere else. And I can't blame them. You have to be able to provide for them. The second thing is our human or our natural resources, and it's quite evident, not only in the farming, agriculture, and the tourism industries, but I see them playing a crucial role in alternative energy in the state in the next 5, 10, 15 years and forever. We have the water resources that are there and that we can use to help produce energy. Putting wind farms out of the Great Lakes, which I know a lot of people don't like, to me still seems better than an oil slick in my backyard. And I also believe that the wind, we know that there's enough wind in most of Michigan, especially on the coast, and a lot of the flatlands that we can use that natural resource also to produce alternative energy. We can use these natural resources properly to help solve the energy problem, which is going to be a national, it is a national issue. It is the reason we keep going to war. So you start small, and it turns into something big. We have to change that whole policy. So I think our natural resources can play a more integral role than just the tourism and agriculture that can play a role in alternative energy policies.
I think the answers have been good, and I can agree with all of them for one point or another, but I do think that both our natural resources and our people